Hello, my beautiful Jasirians, and welcome to another exciting day here on Jasiri. I know I just got back from the vacation, right? But I was surfing through the net and checking for national holidays. Again, don't ask me why. But you won't believe what today's national holiday is. Anyone wants to guess? Lola?
Are you really speaking to me?
Oh,
are we speaking now?
I just asked
wow.
the question.
I'm going to have to ask
again. No, I'm changed.
You know, she talked about vacation. You know, the way she called the vacation, someone would think she went out somewhere. You know that the vacation is just by the...
This is just a reminder what I said yesterday. If you want to take me out, like,
of course,
allow
be
me
begging.
travel.
No.
Anyways, if they can't guess, it's National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. How hilarious would it be to see Lolo coming to work in her pajamas?
Oh, why me? So you think I wouldn't look nice in pajamas? So let Tolu command it. Then you will know.
I said we're going to the pajama day.
To wear pajamas. Oh, because you think you have places. They can't even see it.
Let me say that again. How hilarious would it be to see Catherine?
Better face that side.
I doubt seeing Lolo in her pajamas will be as entertaining as what's coming up next, guys. Seriously. Controversial Onisha-based pastor.
God will bless you for the way you call that
Onisha.
Because don't try it. We need to pedestrian it.
Onisha. Chukwuemeka Ohanemere, better known as Odumeji, dropped his highly anticipated song, Powers, over the... Stop! These guys, my ladies are the worst. He dropped this highly anticipated song, Powers, over the weekend, featuring Afrobeat star Flavor. Now, adding to the excitement, Pastor was also in London hosting a sold-out show at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre. Guys, tickets reportedly went for a minimum of £700 for a table of 6. Either you know or you don't know. Well, in the new song, which has stirred up some controversy online, Odumeji boldly declares his intention to unleash his power.
Yes!
Which he claimed will solve the challenges facing Nigeria. I want to listen to this.
Like a miracle. You get choose yes, so you want a choice. You got like it. You don't love me in the music. You love me in the demonstration.
Oh,
in the buski.
I don't put my hand on that armpit,
right?
because
I know that Nigerians easily get entertained, but not everybody needs to be a celebrity.
So
you know what? We made him a celebrity because he was entertaining people with his antics. That's what it was. It was antics.
Yeah, that's what.
Those antics have now taken because I looked at the flyer and I was expecting a gospel, whether it's gospel or anything
like
related, because it's a profit.
Exactly.
If you check that flyer, it's presented by an entertainment company.
Yes.
If you check his bio, it says entertainment and recreation.
Yes,
is this really a Christian prophet?
So the thing is, he's not lying about anything. He's coming out with who he is. Even in his antics, like Tolu called it, in his church, you see him. Someone will tell him something, he says it in another way that sounds funny. He's not trying to be, he's not trying to perform miracle, nothing. He's just trying to make people laugh. And then people are now, I'm surprised that the people who are surprised at how the show turned out. It's a show.
I'm the one who's surprised. No. Point your finger at me. I'm surprised.
Why would you be surprised?
Because when I heard that a prophet who has a church, who's preaching at times, is going for a show in London, I'm expecting something that is reflective.
We're the ones who see him as a prophet. He knows that
honestly,
he's an entertainer.
He gave himself, but that's another issue. He came out and he was calling himself a prophet.
Yes.
Like, how do we title people? I know if it's the traditional religions, what do you call it? The traditional, meaning Pentecost, not Pentecost, meaning Roman Catholic, Baptist. Now, you have to achieve a certain thing to be given titles. People will come and tell you they're a bishop. They're prophets. What else do they use? Anyhow, God spoke to them.
Honestly, these days, when I watch online, I just say everybody just has to be selective about what you choose to believe. I don't see him as a pastor or anything. I just see him as a nice person that entertains. I laugh at some of these antics.
And that's it.
And that is what it is. And when you keep telling me he has a church,
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
All those sounds I hear on maybe TikTok and everything, I just thought it's like a comedy show.
So again,
Can
I think I
church?
have a problem with the celebrities that endorse him, right? Because it's possible that people did not take him seriously initially, but then when they see celebrities, and they're not just endorsing him as a comedian or oh, he makes me laugh, they're literally talking about his miracle signs and wonders in the church. And because Nigerians are always looking for miracles everywhere, in every single corner, they think that okay, it's funny.
The guy is a vibe. If we're going straight, the guy is a vibe. Did you hear how his English changed when he landed in London? Listen, so
he will unleash his power. Did that boss?
And that word has become a slang. In the boss has become a slang.
Everybody
on the streets.
Whether it's demon names, now so now go to leak.
Do you understand? We are carried away.
Do you know that somebody took their time to create the AI version of those powers, and they look so nice.
God.
You know, there's one Abido Shaker. Oh my God, it was so nice.
Yeah.
So the person was just.
Did you see the one they made of beers?
I mean, take a look at this video. Really He's excited. Me, I want to please, guys. Let's listen to this video. I want to hear the English. We will need a translator, Auntie Bimbo, to help us translate, but. He's excited.
And this is battle finish having the bosskeeper who said, London, the lion himself is here. London, the lion himself is here. And make sure you are there on 13th April. Land House, Camberwell. Be there. And it's going to be great and powerfully. You're welcome on 13th April. And you must get there. And be with me, is going to be great one. And since 1996, the young man that started to demonstrate power from the age of 18 years, and scattering all the powers of darkness, and pulling down every strongholds of the enemies, and show them there is only one God and one power, and that man is Jesus Christ. And since 1996, I have never been defeated. I've been performing.
I've been performing. But you always say he performs. Like
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like that prophet is only a tag. He knows himself as an entertainer, a performer. We are the ones who are thinking that this man is.
Honestly, this particular thing weak us for this table.
No, this one.
Usually I don't know what really I don't know what to say when it comes to it. I'm just perplexed.
No, if I talk, that you
paid money. To go just
700 pounds.
700 pounds. Okay, even if it was a comedy show, what's his
so my question is, why did they pay? What did they want to see?
They wanted to see entertainment.
They wanted to see him perform.
These are people who are out of Nigeria who keep they're in touch with what's going on in the country.
Because make us stutter. Because even if, as a comedian, when I used to do comedy shows, there's something you call like your repertoire or something where you have a lineup of what you're going to do. Like I'll do stage. I know I have some comedy breaks. I would have performed. Is it that they? Would I do that again?
You should do that again.
Everybody has been talking that nonsense, but if I cannot do a hotel, I'm not doing. So,
I don't know what.
If I'm not going to do a show in a hotel, I'm the power. I'm the vibe.
The lion herself.
I'm the lion.
I think people don't like entertainment. That's what it is. People like entertainment. They like all that drama. They like, when you're talking, they bring a phone and they
I sure you know that show you will dance at Ilogu. Tolu will host definitely with a blue.
Your earring looks like croissant. Really?
Actually.
A silver croissant. Honestly, do you know that Indabuska has just made us all mellow?
To be honest, I'm not even surprised. I can list the number of people that have been made celebrities unnecessarily. It's just like getting surprised that Portable comes on stage and is singing rubbish. That's what he did.
No, don't try. Portable is the streets boy. And the streets love him. It's just like small dog.
No, but that's what she said.
That's what he did. The music.
Exactly. So enjoy what you're saying.
What is he saying?
What is he saying?
Then like enjoy the in the basket. I mean, people that came to pay love the music.
Yeah, that's because
the rubbish.
Everybody likes it. Everybody loves
Flavor now, I'm so. I don't want to say.
No, I'll say it. I love Flavor. I'm a huge Flavor fan. If you know him. Whatever. Oga, what's your problem? Oga, I love Flavor, but I felt like Flavor because there is a build up to this whole concert, this show.
Yeah.
I felt Flavor was just egging him on. If you watch some of the videos, you'll feel like Flavor was holding his laughter.
And he was trying to even make the man sing to beat.
And that's what Blessings is talking about.
When he started, did you see the way he was rolling some negatives like pandemic, epidemic, cataclysm? I'm
I remember
know the meaning
of the words
he's saying.
No, it's because they were rhyming and he was
so pandemic. You rhyme that over your house.
I don't even if the most people is right on.
Anyway, moving away from the theatrics to a more serious conversation now, it is obvious that safety in Lagos has become a weary concern for many. A city known for its hustle and bustle, as well as its vibrant nightlife, is now being threatened by rising incidences of hooliganism, extortion, and intimidation, one-chance operators, and more. Even during the day, the streets are not as safe as they once were. When we return, we will be addressing this concern with a special guest. For you to see, you'll need to stay with us on Jasiri. We'll be right back. Siri.
Welcome back. Please remember we are streaming live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Also use the hashtag Jasiri to be part of our conversations. Today's topic has been one that has weighed heavily on the minds of many Lagosians lately, and that's public safety. Whether you're commuting to work, enjoying a night out with friends, or simply going about your daily activities, the need for safety and security is paramount. And when that is threatened, even in broad daylight, there's only one place to turn for solutions and answers. Joining us to address the concerning rise of hooliganism in Lagos State is the Public Relations Officer of the Lagos State Police Command, SP Benjamin Hundeyin. Welcome to Jasiri, SP Hundeyin.
Who else noticed I'm wearing black? I have a BSc in policing.
It's today that you'll find out what handcuffs feel like. Please continue.
Because this is a very serious topic. SP Hundeyin, let's just dive into the conversation. Why has Lagos State become rife with things like thuggery, area boys, armed robbery? I know your office must be piled high with reports of one incident over the other because it's just become commonplace.
Okay, thank you. So why is that the case? You should know that Lagos is a metropolitan city. Is a cosmopolitan city, and every single metropolitan and cosmopolitan city in the world, be it Tokyo, be it Beijing, be it New York, be it Paris, everywhere you would see these things coming up, especially if that city is also developing. So there are things that come with development, and Lagos is not left out. But the good thing is we are not just looking away. You see, justice is on a tripod: the police, the judiciary, and the prison. So we in the past 6 days, we arrested a total of 1,019. Yes. For what? Yes, for
different offenses.
For the topic we're talking about, hooliganism, boys moving around, harassing people. Yes, because we went all out to get them. And before this last 6 days, we arrested like 453, also in Lagos. But the point I'm trying to make is, okay, so we arrest these people, we arraign them, and judiciary does its part, and they move to the prisons, and after their prison sentence, they come back to the society. And don't forget, we have a very large population here. So the more, as they go in, others are getting released. So it's like a vicious cycle, but we are not just allowing it slide. We are doing our part.
1,000 plus.
That's a lot.
All right. So while we're processing the numbers in the past couple of days, the next question has to do with, it's going to come from a video that I would like us to see before I ask my next question, if that's okay with you, sir. Okay. Let's see the video.
World, I salute you. I'm making this video as a special appeal to our governor and our president and everybody in power. There is a pandemic, there is a menace that is occurring, and I know that 1 or 2, 3, 4 people can testify to this. You can no longer walk on the street in certain areas in Lagos, Oshodi, Agege, Lagos Island, and some other environs, to mention a few. You can't pick a phone call on the road as you are walking. This bunch of guys will gather around you and they will demand for your phone if they don't even snatch it. And when they snatch your phone, they will tell you brazenly to your face, we've had cases of a snatch phone, so they had to end up paying 50,000 naira. Yesterday this one happened and it hit close to home. A crew member of ours, we kept on calling him because so we were worried, we kept on calling, so he was forced to pick his phone on the streets of Agege, and suddenly 7, 8 boys gathered around him, brandishing weapons. Please understand that this thing happened around 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Busy. People were passing, people were going, everybody ignored him. And don't like the that was watching the exchange. It means that this is what is occurring in that place. They were pushing him around, they were telling him that they will stab him, they will kill him, and nothing will happen until he paid. Because he wanted to collect his phone. I need only phone. He ended up parting with 5,000 naira yesterday. And as it was another story, another person was confirming it that 3 weeks ago the same thing happened to her. This seed that has been planted, what's in the tree, what's in the meta very soon become a forest. We are begging. This is a country and a state that has law and security. These boys are claiming, when you talk to them, Baba Walowa Nijoba, Mama Walowa Nijoba, Uncle Wani, Brother Wani, please, we are citizens and we are begging. Insult. I'm just begging because the security of the citizenry is part of your mandate.
All right, so a lot of people can relate with that harrowing experience shared by popular filmmaker Biodun Stevens. In fact, she was recounting what happened to a crew member of hers, but earlier in the year, she herself was a victim. Now, my question, how does the Lagos State Police plan to combat or address these issues of extortion, intimidation, and brazen, terrorizing of normal people who are walking the streets? It's as if they've just gone on the streets, taken the laws into their hands, and it's
unfortunate.
No, it's on food. The two schizophaths. Meaning they don't care about the consequence. In fact, they don't believe there's any consequence that can reach them.
If one watched the passion with which you're saying this, you make it sound like it's on every single street in Lagos. You make it sound like it happens morning, afternoon, and night. I know it's bad enough that this is happening, but it's not. I need to clarify that it's not as bad as you make it sound. I know this is controversial. I know people would not like what I'm saying, but yes. People move out every day and come back to their homes. You also move out. Well, I don't know if you step out of your car, but it's not like out of millions of people that go to work daily, then 90% experience this. So my point is, it's not as bad as it is, as you make it sound, but still, it's bad enough. It calls for concern, and that's why, responding to this video, I did a press statement. Informing Nigerians, Lagosians in particular, about the steps taken by the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Adegoke Fayode. So he actually summoned all DPOs, all area commanders, and gave them that marching order. The press statement is out there. Give them that marching order to intensify motorized and foot patrols in their areas. So that's the best we can do. We have 1 or 2 patrol vehicles in each division. Make use of them, patrol. So if it happens that your division covers 20 streets well, and you have 2 patrol vehicles, you do the best you can with that. So police will not be everywhere at the same time. And for the foot patrols, we have intensified it. So everything we have every single thing we have been made use of to make sure that we suppress this. Thank God, recruitment is ongoing. So we need, because truly, it's a fact, we need more police officers.
I was going to say, what you just said now, it seems like what you have is not enough.
Yeah. I was even going to say that we need
fast-growing city like Lagos. Yes, we also need to get more officers. So we are making the best of what we have, and the government and the police management is not unaware of these things, and that's why we are doing yearly recruitment. So so far, if I'm going to grade us or assess our performance, I would say we are doing everything we can to make
I
this.
think you should let Lagosians grade you.
Yeah.
I know. But let me ask, because this issue has been a personal one. I was robbed in traffic about 2 years ago.
Okay.
They broke my glass. They threatened me with a very long life. I saw my life literally flash before my eyes, and I really thought I was not going to go home that day, all because they wanted to take my phone. But what irritated and angered me the most was that I was robbed between a police vehicle stationed with police officers inside and a police officer standing just meters away from where I was robbed. And so when I think about that situation, I was shouting, I was yelling, I was honking my horn, I was trying to get all the attention, not a single thing. So when I drive my car that has a broken window and I get to the police officer and I'm shouting at him, I've just been robbed, he tells me, oh, but there are police officers that were stationed up there. How did I get robbed? And so I come back to the fact that there are hotspots. I know that area, unfortunately, because of traffic at the time the Coal Bridge was under construction, I had limited options. Ijora Olokpa is a hotspot.
Yeah.
There are numerous hotspots across the city and across the state. What is the command doing about those hotspots? Because it becomes a situation, a hotspot is a hotspot because it's a repeated activity at that particular place. So now it feels like these areas have reputations, but the police is not doing enough to reduce the reputation for incidences of robbery or whatever it is. What is the command doing about hotspots, opportunities for crime? There are a lot of crimes in Lagos that happen because there are opportunistic crime. What are we doing about that?
Okay, so I made reference to a statement I released earlier in the week, where we arrested a total of 1,019.
In 6 days?
Yes. So if you go through that statement, we did not just pick people randomly. We actually visited these hotspots. We actually visited these hotspots. We know them. We have a list of these hotspots. So those were the places. Okay, this one is 303 suspects. Yes, it was after this that we arrested 1,019. So we know of the existence of these hotspots, and it's a repeated thing. Just like I said earlier, you arrest people today, and the bad boys won't be there tomorrow. They will just stay clear of that place for a few days. But if you do not go back after a week or two, you see them again. So for us to, we have made sure that it's recurrent. We go there over and over again to pick these people.
It's interesting. Sorry, blessings. It's interesting to me. 1,000 plus people. They go into the court system. They're convicted, whether somebody is sentenced or not, and then they come back. Rehabilitation, that's a different conversation. But when it comes to the charges you're able to bring against them and getting a conviction rate for some of these things, and even having witnesses, which would help to solidify the case, how is that for you guys? Is that a struggle?
That's where the problem is. So you charge them for the appropriate offense, but there's no witness. And the law says you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And for that reason, that charge might be struck out. So we have to go for a lesser charge. That's the way it works. Just to hold them by something. And when you use a lesser charge, yes, that would stick. And they get convicted. And at most, they get 3 months, 6 months, and they're out. So we have this problem. We contact victims. Okay, so you're robbed in traffic. Okay, madam, can you come testify in court? And people are like, oh, I leave it to God. I'm not interested.
I did police reports. They asked me to fund their movement. I tracked my phone.
Hold on, I'm talking about testifying in court. So most times we call people to come and testify in court and tell us, I'm not interested, I've got another phone. So it hinders the justice system.
But don't you think that because people have seen that in maybe more advanced crimes, when you testify in court, you're putting yourself out there. I'm a lawyer by training. You're putting yourself out there. And I don't know what do the police in Nigeria think, like protection, would they be able to even send patrol to your house?
So nobody wants to risk
that time. So they don't want to risk, because you don't think that they have enough reach to protect you.
It's possible for somebody to say, you see, I want to testify, but I fear for my life. So could I testify like anonymously, or you know, you cover my face, I'm wearing a face mask, and I just come in and point and say, oh, that's the guy. It's possible, but people are not just interested. People just don't want to.
This thing you just said, you know, there's so many things that we watch, and people are not even aware that such things are possible.
Yeah.
So that means
people have lawyers. Most of these people say, oh, can I come with my lawyer? So that's the professional who should advise them. Those are the people that approach us and say, this is what I want for my clients. So they should be able to say.
Well, you have a point there. They should be able to advise their clients on the best way that they can be, you know,
and to get justice.
Yeah, but in all sincerity, I also still think that whether wearing a mask and pointing, there's just always that, I don't know, people feel like they have a tab on them if they come out to. And then there's also the possibility, or they think that these people that they're pointing and trying to identify will not do the time. So they feel like in no time the person is back on the street, and then they are at risk. So I think that brings me to my next question. How do we guarantee, because we've heard this time and time again, that the police is your friend. Yeah. But in so many situations, Tolu, for example, may not be able to believe that because she was robbed in between, you know, police vans. And several times we've also seen during protests where police vans are stationed and tear gas is ready for any cough or any. So a lot of people do not believe that statement that the police is their friend. So whatever it is they have to do to maybe encourage or assist police investigation, they feel like it's a waste of time. So how do we rebuild that trust? How do we rebuild transparency from the police with the people?
Well, rebuilding that trust would require action, not words. We don't have to keep saying police is your friend. We need to put it in action, and that's what we're doing. Maybe not as much as people would love to see, but that's what we're doing. For Tolu's bad experience where she was robbed in between two police points, and there are also other people who have good experiences. People will say, oh, thank God for the police, I was able to get this, I was able to get that. So it's all about action, and I don't want to start tabulating that, okay, good deeds, bad deeds of the police. I'm scared the result might not favor me. But the fact is, while we record some bad actions from the police, we also have so many good actions that will support the statements that police is your friend.
Okay, let's take a quick break before we get into the next question. I know there's a lot more in this conversation. If you are, of course, joining us, make sure you're doing that via our social media platforms at New Central TV, and of course using the hashtag Jasiri. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Jasiri here. You're watching us on News Central. We're live on all our socials. So we still have SP in the studio, and we're talking about the rate at which Lagos has deteriorated, and criminal elements are just going all and about everywhere. So, but it is encouraging to hear about the crackdown on criminal elements, but the question, because there's so many questions, like you have noticed, you would have noticed, when you say something, Lola takes up with another question, and then Blessings follows up with another question. So it's an ongoing conversation. But now, for me, in this moment, my question would be that how can the community play a role in helping or complementing the police's efforts to create safer environments, safer neighborhoods, where people can at least, because now, my brother, after a certain time, you don't feel that it is right or it is safe for you to be walking around or driving a motor, or even people who drive and have been robbed like Tolu, there's this phobia. You know, you don't want to take the same route, and you're looking at, is it not better if I take an Uber? If it's not better if I take public transport, is it not
all those
safer?
things are still security hotspots?
Exactly, but you're thinking, okay, maybe there's strength in numbers rather than if you're driving alone. So how can we work together to complement the police's efforts in safeguarding?
Members of the community have been helping a lot, and I made a statement earlier. I said the police cannot be everywhere. So we rely on information from members of the public too. And they've been helping in that regard. You see, like most of these criminals rely on drugs. Most of them, not all, they use drugs. And these drug dealers don't hide in any evil forest anywhere in Lagos. They stay with people. People know them. So we've had cases where people pass information to us to say, oh, there's a drug dealer here. I also understand the points you made earlier. People are scared to talk because the information might leak, like I was one that gave. But still, how will people help? It's by giving information, by collaborating with us, which is happening in many parts of Lagos. In fact, I always tell people, and people are using that anyway, that if you don't have confidence in your DPO or the police officers around you because you feel, oh, they are fraternizing with these criminals, they would pass information. Yeah, pass information straight to the headquarters. That might not be the best, but that's what we can make use of for now. So people pass information to me, people pass information to the Commissioner of Police directly, and the Commissioner of Police would also pass the information to the DPO.
Yeah, probably, because you respond quickly. During the break, Lolo was talking about her experience. You know, the first contact you meet or the person that you're in contact with might be the one to just kill your morale. You might want to report something happening in your neighborhood and the person is like, hello, you know, and then with a drop body anyhow, and then you will lose steam. So maybe for you it's different because you are someone who is, you know, a man on ground. You respond quickly.
What I'm trying to make is we have supervisors, so to speak. We have supervisors. So if the person you meet at the station is not responding appropriately, you can escalate this to the supervisor. So the immediate supervisor of that police officer you meet is the DPO. The immediate supervisor. And DPOs are senior officers. They have more at stake. They have more to lose if they are to be sanctioned. So that's why, personally, I publish the phone numbers of DPOs regularly, so that when people call me, I'll say, reach out to your DPOs. And this happens a lot. People reach out to me and I tell them, call the DPO. And they call me back to say, oh, thank you, it has been sorted out. Oh, I didn't know it was that easy. Oh, I didn't know DPOs were that accessible and all that. So reach out to the supervisor the same way you would have it here at New Central, like, oh, something is going wrong, I have to reach out to HR. We have these levels there. So for now, people have been supporting us, but we call for more support. And we'll be able to achieve what we want to achieve.
So I have a quick question, because you talked about recruitment as well. And I think a lot of Nigerians would be interested in knowing how you recruit, even though because it's a federal and then it trickles into the states, there's a bit of complexity there. But in terms of recruitment for police officers, what does Nigeria require? What kind of people are we looking for? Because it's a leading question that leads into the issues where we've seen police officers being sanctioned or even sometimes removed from the force and then taken to court because members of the public have reported them. So what are we looking for in our police officers? What are the requirements to be a police officer? What's the type of person who should be a police officer? And then in terms of making sure when it's officers that are erring that there's justice and there's consequence, how do we continue that process?
Because people feel that, in addition to what Tolu says, people feel that anybody can just be a police officer.
Yes.
Because you're bored, you're idle, and
just need a uniform.
Police is the next work to do. So much.
Do we do background checks on the people who want to become officers?
So, when we announce recruitment, we make public the requirements. So for every applicant, your form needs to be signed by a chief superintendent of police or equivalent in the military or civil service or a magistrate, a judge. So that person is supposed to say, oh, I testify to this person's good behavior, character. Then the traditional ruler, that person's traditional ruler, let me put it that way, not necessarily your state of origin, it could be where you reside. The traditional ruler too needs to say, oh, I know this person, I know his parents. But beyond that, not just relying on what they say, we also have what we call the Security Intelligence Department. So they too do some checks to make sure that the best hands get in. And during the interview process, I remember my interview personally, there was even a psychologist on the panel. Yes, I was surprised too. And during my recruitment, that was my first and only time to do a polygraph test. Yes, so I was put under the lie detector machine and they were asking questions. So at the end of the day, the best were selected. So I know that the one that happened during my time has not been consistent. I don't think,
because if such rigorous,
when he's talking, I had the questions
if such rigorous measures were taken towards recruiting, like me, I just commented. I know it might sound like, oh, maybe it's sexist. No. I looked at when SP entered. I saw how fit he was physically. How come I see police people on the road that
have no business?
I don't even understand what
they chase a criminal. Is that what you want to know?
They just look.
Say it. It's okay.
Say it.
No,
we get.
As in, how does that happen, sir? Because it's confusing to me because your work is very physical. You have to run sometimes. You have to chase criminals. Sometimes you have to get into a car very quickly, and all those things. I know it's not like when we see in films, but how do we see police officers that have no? It's as if their physical well-being is no longer an issue.
They're wearing slippers.
They're wearing
carrying
slippers.
guns.
I've seen
not put together.
I know it's not right, but I have used my eyes to see a police officer with alcohol on duty in uniform. I had to look away because I know it's not right. But how do those kinds of things slip through the cracks?
To conclude what I was saying before I answer this, so those checks are there, those requirements are there, so only those that meet those requirements gets into the system. But you said some people slip through the cracks, yes. What we do is to ensure that immediate supervisors take the blame for these things. I am an HOD. I head the PR department in the command. I have people working under me. So if something goes wrong, I should be held responsible. I should supervise. So it's about lack of supervision. And we appreciate it. Somebody called me. I'm not ashamed to use this example. Somebody called me 7:30 and said, Mr. Ben, I'm passing in front of a club now, and I can see some of your officers. They want to buy Chelsea dry gin inside sachet. Yeah. That they want to buy, and I was so grateful. I said, thank you very much. So I had to quickly call the DPO covering that area. Like, some people under your nose are about to misbehave. Quickly go there. So if we get these reports constantly, it's division of labor. We'll just pass it to the DPO covering that area. And
okay, but what is being done to these people? Are they just warned and let off? Or
and besides,
what exactly?
Yourself, don't they think you're doing too much?
Like apropos?
Yeah. Would they dislike you?
Exactly.
Because if we escalate anything to SP, it gets done quickly.
Yeah, that comes with the job. Yeah, there are people who don't like me. That's natural. I expect it. So what do? We sanction them. But you see, you sanction people. The law also allows for somebody that has been sanctioned to appeal the discipline. So there are many people who have been dismissed and who are back in the system. Not through the back door. They challenge the system. I mean, they write an appeal. A lawyer writes an appeal and sends it to the Police Service Commission that this was a wrongful dismissal. Some go to the Senate, and the senator will read it on the floor like wrongful dismissal, and they have to review the whole process, and they say, oh, truly it was wrongful dismissal. You take him in, put him on the same rank his colleagues are at now, and pay all the salaries and all that. So we do our part, and sometimes people appeal, and sometimes too, the sanction goes beyond our level. So to sanction an inspector of police, the commissioner of police in Lagos cannot do it. He can only recommend. Then the assistant inspector general of police in charge of Lagos and Ogun Zone 2 would be the one to. So there are steps. So sometimes people just want to report to a police officer today and say him dismissed the next day. It doesn't work that way. There are processes to follow.
Wow, I most appreciate all the proactive measures that have been taken by the police, as mentioned in one of your recent tweets. Concerning this particular issue. But please, can you elaborate? Because a lot of people are watching on strategies that you are implementing presently on the safety and security of Lagosians, especially in some areas that we've termed hotspots. So that at least they know that, oh, the police are aware of this thing and these are the things they're doing to ensure safety.
Well, people, I got a message yesterday from a journalist. He said, good afternoon, PRO. I see massive deployment of policemen everywhere in Lagos. What's happening? Are we safe?
Yes. We want to be safe, then you see them, and now
just last week, there was a court clash in Ajegunle where they killed somebody. In just a few hours after that, there were police vans everywhere. Also in Agege, police vans everywhere. When there was fire outbreak on the island, there were police vans everywhere. So these are the things we are doing. In fact, the Commissioner of Police comes on air, when I say on air, on the walkie-talkie, and radios for all DPOs. Available. Go out. I don't want to see any DPO in the station. Everybody go out, be on the street, let people see you. It's about visibility policing. Because the moment bad boys, before they even strike, one of them will just go out, like, wants to go and buy bread to survey, like, oh, Solokba, they are not there. So that's what we've started doing. and we intend to do it more. We don't want to sit back at the station. Everybody should just be out there, and so that we can get more
Okay,
criminals off the
I want to
street.
quickly ask this question because I've heard several times where people say things like, "Oh, I want to get a police report," and police say we have closed. Is that a thing?
Why did he tell you?
Because honestly, I've heard it like 3 times.
I've even heard that you can only get police
we have closed
report.
police reports
I've heard it
from
before.
only
Yes.
some stations that you can't even get just from anywhere.
Yeah, that we have closed is the most baffling one for me.
That's the first time I'm hearing that. But police reports. Okay, so let me explain this. I think I understand what you're talking about. So police reports will be prepared by the admin section of the station,
Which does close.
which would close. But the operations department is 24 hours. Operations responding to, but the admin, where they provide police reports and all that. Because police report is not something that is an emergency, that is urgent.
Well, technically.
Okay, so I give you police reports 10 p.m. Where do you want to use it by 10 p.m.?
So a
That's
lot
my
of times,
point.
maybe you see someone on the road, people no longer help these days, let's be honest, but you want to help someone, you take them to the hospital, they ask you for a police report.
That's different. That's not
That's very specific example.
That is not even what admin would do. The operations people will do that.
Okay.
So that kind of reports would not get a response of we have closed. That's an emergency. I'm talking about, I misplaced my passports, my SIM, I need a police report. Nobody would give you that by 10 p.m. There's no way you're taking it to by 10 p.m. So just come in the
police
morning.
report?
Police reports, there is administrative charge. If you want to know more about that, you can go to posap.gov.ng, POSSAP.gov.ng. That's where you make, through remitter, that's where you make payments for police reports, for police services. Sometimes, your friends are coming from the US and you want police protection for them all through their stay. It's legit, it's allowed. You apply, you make payments. Yeah. So
You know that because you know my doubt is now. But I even like the fact you touched on this. We don't have a lot of time, SP, but it means that you're going to have to come back. What we really want to do is also make sure we get questions from the audience and the public next time so that we can take them directly live on air. So one, let me get a promise from you that you're going to return. Absolutely. All right, so before we wrap things up with you, because we have to go, Nigerians can't move around with guns. Pepper spray is illegal, correct?
Is it illegal? Pepper spray?
There is no law saying directly that it's illegal, but it can be weaponized.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. So just heard what you said. But in terms of individuals protecting themselves and even some tips, some safety tips that you can share with like Lagosians in particular, let's round up on that.
Well, just make sure you let at least somebody know where you're going. Always let someone know where you're going. And if you're making use of ride-hailing apps, it's common these days, make sure you follow all the security features. Make sure you share your ride with somebody. As long as somebody knows where you are, it's easy to quickly come to your aid if there is a problem.
All right, we have to end the conversation for now.
For now, that was so instructive. I love what he said.
I know,
because
and
it's important.
you're quick on your responses, and I think we like that. We appreciate that, guys. We've been speaking to SP Benjamin Hundeyin, PRO, Lagos State Police Command, and we want to thank you for being here
And for agreeing to come back.
and for agreeing to come back. Thank you in advance to answer our questions. We hope and want to see a safer Lagos because it's a city that we love. We hope to see the police and the communities working together to provide a better environment for all. So we'll go on a short break. When we return, it will be time for Hot Topics.
Welcome back to Jasiri. Now it's Hot Topics o'clock.
I just feel like punching at it.
Immediately our guest left, I got threatened. I'm going to go look for him and call him back.
He has not gone too far.
My
I always
security...
said that thank God that SP has gone before we get into trouble with Hot Topics.
He's still in the compound, I'm sure.
Now to our Hot Topics. Our Hot Topics sparked nationwide debate, and it's not just about what was said but how it was handled. It revolves around the controversial incident that took place at Dunamis International Gospel Center just a few days ago. It all started when a lady named Anyim Vera stepped out to share her testimony of how she had suffered a setback in her education but overcame numerous obstacles to become the first graduate in her family.
However, things took an unexpected turn when Pastor Paul Enenche questioned the validity of her testimony, casting doubt on her achievement. Pastor expressed skepticism about Anyim's claim to have obtained a BSc in law, that's in quotes, leading to a public confrontation that ignited a barrage of commentary. Let's take a look at the video.
I was trying to school in National Open University. Before I came to this Dunamis, there's a lot of things that is happening in my life and my family. From my father's side and my mother's side, nobody is a graduate. They will only ended up primary or secondary school. Praise the Lord. I started the school. I want to do law program. I started 2014. So I continue like that. And I want to thank God because during that time, I never lack of money to pay my school fees. Praise the Lord.
Give her the mic. What kind of degree is it? My medicine is MBBS.
BSc, sir. BSc in law, sir.
So the testimony is a lie. There is nothing like BSc in law. You either have LLB or BL. It's a lie. The testimony is a lie. Please go back to your seat.
My mood is his daughter's
Did you
face.
see me hiding behind my
The daughter behind him, I feel like
I know her.
that was unnecessarily harsh, to be honest. Look, I get, because a lot of people come out now and then they give testimonies that are fake. They give a lot of false and then
or embellished.
or embellished testimonies.
I like that, embellished.
But I do not, if it was someone who came and say, oh, I died last night and I came back to life, maybe that level of toughness would have been required. But this is someone who, from what, and again, the fact that he kept saying, see the way she's talking, I don't know if that was a complete clip, but there was a part where he made reference to the way she's talking. You know that she's not very, very literate, right? Probably she might have made a mistake in what she said. There's nothing stopping you from, if you wanted to clarify right there, you can ask questions. BSc in law, is there someone else that can help her verify this testimony? We need to clarify, but not just
I felt there was a lack of empathy.
It's disheartened because if this
leave it, please. Just read it at home, ladies. We don't have time. Just read it at home. I think there is a much better way that the pastor could have handled it. One. The second thing is I asked around. There is something actually called a BSc in law. And apparently it's a lot of private universities in Nigeria that tend to give this kind of, and it's a diploma. So a BSc in law, while it's not recognized as a way to go to law school, is usually a degree program or a diploma program that prepares students for entry-level positions in the fields of law, government, civil service, public advocacy, and business compliance. So that's one. But two, this lady, we've seen the program from National Open University. She did graduate with an LLB. I don't know why she said BSc. Maybe she was G3.
Exactly. And again, sometimes, let me just play the devil's advocate. Maybe Pastor Enenche on his pulpit has seen a couple of but that doesn't embellish testimonies, and he didn't want to just like this one went and nobody did anything. You know how we crucify them when some things happen.
Because to be honest, if she had said that and he didn't say anything, people would have come for him.
So I think we also need to go to the statements, because I finally read the statement that the church put out, and I'm annoyed. There are parts in the statement. First, they talk about listening to the testifier's expression as it borders on basic spoken English, conveys the impression that the minimum standard expectation of graduates, especially a graduate of law, was not met. Second, stating that she studied law for 10 years begged the question of what her degree actually was. Third, she was unable to state exactly what the correct degree for law, which is LLB. Rather, she said it was BSc in law, which is largely unknown in law degree in Nigeria and possibly globally. I've corrected that now. This prompted the senior pastor to stop the testimony and identify it as a product of a lie. When we had, this was not a crisis, but this was an opportunity for the church to show humanity and empathy.
And that was missing. Guys, this is not the end of it. No, this is not, if we think that this is the end of it, it's not. After the public outcry, Anyim posted a picture on Facebook. That is Vera Anyim. Posted a picture on Facebook, posing with Pastor Paul and his mommy Gio. saying that all is in the past and that she has moved on and that she will continue to worship at the said church, and you know, that everything, all is well, and she ends her post by saying peace.
So what do you want to say?
No, I mean, is it
Are
pressure?
you going to fight
is it pressure? Is it bribe? Is it no? Because it could be. Is it compensation? People won't say bribe because there are so many synonyms to make that beautiful.
But I actually
it may not be bribe, but is it pressure? Is it money compensation? What? How quick are we to dismiss grievances by our so-called spiritual?
I did not see an apology in that.
There was no apology on that.
Apology.
Churches need to know that when they want to put out public statements. I know that Pastor Nenche did write that.
And they said that he has seen her publicly, privately.
Yeah.
They've discussed. That's where that picture on Facebook came from.
All I know is that the PR department of the church probably put this out. Sometimes we need to.
I see on her Facebook, she started by saying, "Well, I just came out of a warm meeting." A warm meeting. That's how it was worded.
The PR department of the church needs to do better.
It's not. It's not the PR department. It's the church.
Hey.
It's the church.
I think this is. See, ladies, this is going to come back in Hot Topics because I know between now and Friday something is going to develop. But I strongly always believe that as public as the insult, the apology must always be public.
And I hope
the pastor is big enough to address this on the pulpit on Sunday.
No, if we're saying address, we don't want to hear an official statement. If it's not an apology, then don't say anything.
Okay. Don't cover it up.
Don't apology, don't say anything.
All right,
don't sit like sausage in a hamburger.
I got to let us go. But before we go, there is something special that New Central is doing today, and that is a town hall meeting with residents at Jakande. That's going to be coming to you live shortly after Jasiri. While the Lagos State government is engaging leaders of the Residents Association and addressing their concerns, there is a huge question about the housing deficit in the state and issues. So we are going to be there live talking to those who are affected in Jakande today. Coming up at 11 o'clock, there will be no Business Edge today. So please make sure you stay tuned and you're watching us right here on New Central. All of our social media platforms at New Central TV. At New Central TV. I'm trying to rush before they take us off air. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you throughout the rest of the week, 10 a.m. West African time. Jasiri is here. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Peace out. Since that's